Hey y'all, it's Aubrey Shaw with Hill Country One Realty, and our latest Austin real estate statistics have just come out, and I want you to be the first to know about them. So what did they show this month? We go over this every single month. There's not a whole lot of change going on. Our number of sales is down still at about 11% when we compare it to last year. Our volume of sales, that's the dollar amount sold, down about 11% compared to last year. Now, median pricing, it's not changing dramatically, but we are starting to see a pattern of about 3 to 4% loss on our median prices year over year. So, the market kind of stopped being red hot in 2022. We've gone to 23, we've gone to 24, we're now midway through 25. That's about 3 years of, losing 3 to 5% year over year on our pricing. The good news is that's not a dramatic decline. It's a soft decline, and we didn't get that straight up then straight down type of crash, but we are correcting. We're correcting that crazy time that was fueled by 2% interest rates, fueled by crazy demand in the housing market, and also, the builders weren't able to keep up, especially during that time, just with, materials not being available. So looking at that kind of median price and where it's gone, 2 years ago, our median price at this time of year was $465. That was a little bit of a hike. We got that seasonal hike. This year has looked much flatter. We didn't get as many peaks and valleys, but it was $465 in 2023. Now our median value is $430. So you can kind of see that change there. I know I have some sellers that are waiting for a better market, and this isn't the greatest market to sell in. It's slow, okay? The days of we list a house and 5 days later it's under contract, very rare for you to get that reaction. It is just taking longer. It's taking longer. It regularly will take 4 months before you pull a contract on your house. Now, if you're listed and you're not getting any showings after the first 3 weeks, that price needs to come down because it's not pulling in the people where you are. So those are just kind of, the lessons in the market that we're having to learn in this new market. I've been here before. I've been an agent since 2008. It was a lot worse then, okay? There are worse markets than the one that we're in. But interest rates are remaining around that 6.5%. People are starting to get used to it. Yes, there are workarounds. My first-time home buyers, let's go look at new homes. They will give you that 5% interest rate, and they'll pay your closing costs. Now, the downside to new homes is that you're going to be in a subdivision where they're building for a while. If I can get somebody in at the end of builders being in there, oh, that's just wonderful, because not only do you not have to deal with the construction, but you don't have to compete with the builder when you sell. Typically, I'd like to wait until that builder's out of there for you to sell. Pendings this week, we have seen a little decline over the last 2 weeks. Just seasonally, I think that's starting to come down. Sales by week have really shot down these last 2 weeks. So I'm not sure what that's about. We do tend to get a little seasonal decline here in mid-July, I think vacations, but true to 2025, it's a little bit worse than the last couple of years with that little dip. So not a lot going under contract in the last couple of weeks here. New listings, they are continuing to come on. We currently have 5.5 months of inventory. What does that mean? That means if no other houses came on the market with our current buyer demand, it would take us 5.5 months to sell everything we have on the market. That's what that means. 6 months of inventory is a balanced market, but I have been calling it for a few months now. This is a buyer's market. transactions are held together with bubblegum and spit right now. People are just kind of slow to bring those offers. They are a little bit unsure if they're going to stick around. Appraisals are one of the last things we get done in a contract. I have not personally had any problems with appraisals, but I am hearing from my industry associates that they're starting to become a little bit of a deal. One of the things I do to head that off for my clients is I get in front of it. I send that appraiser our comparables. I send them the full contract. I'll meet them there with tacos if I'm really worried about it. But we get in front of it. I want that appraiser to know who I am and ask me questions if they have questions about the value of the property. So what this means for Austin sellers is that you need to listen to your realtor, okay? We cannot get those high prices. I know you've got the best house on the block, but we need to really look at your property, look at what else is on the market, and we need to come in at a price that is going to look attractive, especially if you have a timeline for your move and you want it to be this summer, which is less than 4 months, and this summer will be over. And it's taking homes about 4 months to sell. So, we're gonna have to price well. Property is gonna need to look great. Every showing counts right now. For buyers, it means there's a lot of inventory. You can look at a lot of different properties, explore all neighborhoods in the area you're wanting, and you can play hardball when you make those offers. Now, every single situation is different. I had a listing last month. We were getting okay showings. I had a couple of people that seemed interested, but I just knew we needed a little price reduction to get those people off the fence. So we made a nice price reduction on that property, and I ended up pulling 2 offers with that, and we got our full priced offer. If you can play your situation very well, my clients listen to me with that recommendation. So yes, I've just had multiple offers on a listing, but we played that well. We priced well, we looked great. When we had the interest, but felt like people were on the fence, we handed that carrot over and they both took it. Connect with a smart agent who understands this market, who understands what's gonna move the needle for you, and pray for a little bit of luck, y'all. It's just taking longer to sell. Sellers are getting 93% of their list price on average. That's their original list price. Maybe they've made some reductions. Maybe that's why they're getting that 93%. But there's a lot for buyers to choose from. You've got to look really attractive to sell in this market. Yes, homes are still selling. All right. That's your market update, y'all. I love talking about this real estate stuff. It is very specific to your area and your specific home. So if you're thinking about doing something, give me a call. I would love to come over and see your gorgeous house. Talk later.